Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. And happy Monday, everyone. Today is Monday. It's a new week, new day, new beginning, and also the first Monday of November. How's your November going so far? I hope it's going amazing. And if it's not going as amazing, then it's also okay. Today I got this revelation because of my life experience that is happening to me right now. I was working out in the gym. I'm in Helsinki, and I'm in my life in this transition phase where I'm working on my business, where I'm working on my career as a coach, where I'm moving from Russia to God knows where, basically trying to figure out where it's better for me to live permanently. Trying out new places, again, like working in my business. And right now I'm in Helsinki and it's cold and uncomfortable. I don't have my routines. And so it's all kind of feels like a little bit of mess everywhere. But you know what I realized? You cannot get from where you were to where you want to go without having to be in that messy middle and spending considerable time in that messy middle, learning from your experience, adjusting and improving and working more on it until you get to a point where you feel like you're on a new level and maybe now it's time to climb another mountain. But anyhow, a lot of times what happens when we are trying to work on something new, when we are trying to work on a new goal, maybe change our lifestyle, maybe change our body, maybe change our diet, our fitness, our business, our career, our relationship, where we live. Before we get to a place where we like to be, we're gonna spend a lot of time in that messy middle where it doesn't feel good and it feels uncomfortable, and a lot of times you think like, why did I do that? I should just have stayed where I was. But if you want to improve, if you want to change, if you're working on something meaningful to you, if you don't want to just exist from one weekend to another, that's your place. You'll have to spend a lot of time in that messy middle, sometimes feeling uncomfortable because of your new foods, or because you feel like you really suck at workouts that you just started, or maybe you started a new career and you feel like an incompetent mess most of the time. But that's how learning happens. That's how growth happens. And without spending that time in that messy middle, without embracing it and working through the shit that comes up, there is no chance we can get to a new level, be that our health, be that our fitness, be that our career, our business, our relationships. Like, we gotta spend time in that messy middle and we gotta embrace it, just like I embrace this in the middle of nowhere lifestyle where I don't even know where I'm gonna live in the next couple of weeks. And I'm working, on my business, on my coaching, on this vision that I have for the world where food equals health, where we all know how to eat to satisfy our nutrition requirements and needs to support our short and long-term health and enjoy our food And also, I'm figuring out how to transition to this new career of being a speaker, being a more influential coach, being a food advocate and educator on a larger scale. A lot of things happening in my life, and a lot of times I don't really know how I'm going to end up where I want to be. And sometimes the vision is not even that clear. But I know that I cannot stay where I was, and I also know that I want to go to a new place, and I don't know where I'm going, but I am going. I wish you to do the same, to embrace the journey, embrace the messy middle, and work through it and work on it and stay in this uncomfortable zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's the way to progress to a new vision of yourself, of your life, of your health, of your business, of your career. That's the way forward. So embrace the mess. that's gonna be okay, guys. But speaking about Helsinki, so I came to Helsinki for the most part to for the most part actually, to Biohacking Conference where I volunteered. I met amazing people. I wanted to learn what's the latest in healthy lifestyle, in technology to support and enhance our health, in supplements, in all this that is called biohacking, or changing our environment outside and inside of us to improve our biology, how we feel, how we look, how we perform on all levels. So I wanted to learn more about it, and I wanted to explore Helsinki and what food system looks like here, what you can buy at a supermarket, or what are some local nutritious foods here. And exploring, I'm still gonna be doing for the most part for the next couple of days. So stay tuned on my Instagram account for all the stories from local markets and supermarkets and my assessment of food system here in Helsinki in Finland. But what about Biohacking Conference? So what's new out there? So some of the trends I noticed and I'd like to share with you are, so testing. All sorts of testing is growing, and I believe this trend gonna continue for as long as I can think of. Yeah, so testing your DNA, testing your microbiome in all sorts of ways. Testing not just your the microbiome of your gut, but also the biome of your oral area, so your dental biome. That's kind of a new thing that I actually noticed specifically here at this event. So basically you can test what microbes you have in your mouth, and how that can affect your, not just your dental health, but also your overall health. And also, of course, these companies usually give you recommendations how to work on it to improve it. So your teeth are healthier and overall you are healthier. Your dental health influence and your dental biome influences a lot how you feel overall and your inflammation levels and your energy levels, a lot of things. Also, you can test the biome of your vagina or and other biomes. So we don't just have microbiome in our gut, we have bacteria all over us, and if those biomes are unbalanced, then it's gonna have positive or negative effect on our health. Most of the time, if it's unbalanced, negative effect, right? But also what I really liked, speaking to different researchers, people, representatives of different testing companies, I loved that a conversation that I had with one of the researchers when he told me, like, honestly, we have all this ability to gather this data, but we have very little clue about how to actually apply this data to a person's life to improve the final outcome, right? How you feel, how you perform, how your general health is. But what he told me is that if we test, maybe your DNA, maybe your microbiome, if you test that once and you also test your health overall, like your maybe your blood glucose, your ketone levels, your cholesterol, your inflammation levels, all these things that we can test. And then if we test that, your other health biomarkers, and then what you experience in life, and then you test again in some time, and then again, and after that, there is going to be a pattern that emerges, and based on that, they can advise you to do certain changes to affect all of this data, and then you're going to test it, and then you're going to experience some changes, and that's how you get at this moment the ultimate benefit of all of this testing. But just raw data, it really tells the researchers very little at the moment. So the next thing, brain is a superstar. Guys, the health of your brain will affect how you experience life on all levels. Brain is this, organ that accumulates all of this data from your senses, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your, the sensory experience when you touch something, when you taste something. So your brain accumulates all of that, and it processes it, and then it gives you this experience that you call life, that we all call life. And so the better your brain works, the more joy you can experience in life, the more you can experience life. When people get older, they think like, why is life getting that dull? But actually the most the biggest reason why life is getting dull is because the brain is getting sicker and weaker and worse at processing the sensory information, and also sensors themselves are working worse. That's why when usually we get older, everything seems to kind of be duller. And if you ask a person in their 60s and their 70s, they will usually tell you that the food doesn't taste that as good as it used to. And just the whole life experience becomes less joyful and duller, and kind of like you're looking through a blurred piece of glass or through a mist of fog. So brain is a superstar, and the better it works, the more you can experience in this life. And so there is a big trend towards light stimulation, different vibrations to stimulate the brain, electromagnetic currents to stimulate your brain. So all sorts of devices to stimulate your brain on the rise, and definitely is a trend. So there is not a lot of data yet to show you how it improves your brain, but a lot of those technologies, they do improve the way our brain works. It just a lot of them are not that powerful yet. We're still in development, but they are getting better. So guys, light stimulation, electromagnetic stimulation of the brain, and of course different supplements that help brain to work better, like smart drugs. Again, not so much data supporting a lot of the claims of those companies, but that's gonna improve, and our brain will get more and more attention as we go. And since the brain is getting all the attention, of course sleep is going to get all the attention, because sleep is probably one of the biggest things that affects the way your brain works. So if you don't get enough sleep, your brain not going to learn as much and as well. You're not going to have good memory. Also, your chances of getting all sorts of degenerative brain diseases like dementia or Alzheimer's disease, all of that gonna increase if you don't sleep well on a consistent basis, and that's going to accumulate over 10-20 years. And in 10-20 years, or when you're 50 or 60, you can start losing your mind and memory just because of your poor sleep habits, but also of course poor lifestyle choices like nutrition, like exercise. All of that also affects how healthy your brain is. But yeah, back to sleep, guys. So controlling temperature of your bed, there was this company Chili Pad that you might have heard about, that controls the temperature of where you sleep, because it is proven by a lot of science and a lot of research that ideal temperature for your sleep does improve, or if used not appropriately, it decreases the amount of healthy sleep you get. So technology is helping to control the environment in which we sleep. They are presented, and they're developing. And so one of those are Chili Pads. Then one of the best sleep trackers was also at the conference, Aura Ring, that helps you to track your sleep. This is the most accurate tracker at the moment. Not perfect, but really good one. And then when it comes to sleep, also different sounds, different electromagnetic stimulation devices also were presented to help you to improve the quality of your sleep, especially if the quality of your sleep is really poor. A lot of those devices, from my perspective, except for maybe Chili Pad, things that you have to wear while asleep, I don't think they're very useful. I don't know about you, but if I wear some headphones while I sleep, I just can't sleep because it's just uncomfortable. And so I would never sleep with those on. Maybe taking a nap, yeah, but sleep through the whole night with some bulky headphones on, I don't think so. But a lot of sleep tech Also sleep supplements, of course. Again, not so much data supporting a lot of these supplements, but it's not the indication that they do not work. It just research is expensive, and sometimes not so many interests are there, so companies are motivated to do more research, right? Everybody needs to support their business model. So anyhow, when it comes to supplements, there were a lot of different supplements. What was really good about the good trend that I noticed is supplements are getting more natural. Also, we are getting smarter at how to combine different supplements together to increase how they work together. Also, personalized supplements is a big trend. So basically, when you give those companies your maybe DNA tests or your lab tests, like your cholesterol, your nutrition deficiencies, or so similar tests, when you give those tests to those companies, most of them also do that testing for you. You get your own personalized supplement that help you to address some of the problems that you might have. So personalized supplements is a trend. A lot of adaptogens, so basically natural extract or not just extracts, but different supplements to help your body to adapt to different stresses and to create more balance in your system. So those were present. All sorts of prebiotics or supplements that help you to balance your microbiome, but also biome in different parts of your body. So what else? When it comes to speakers, guys, a lot of talk was about, of course, food and nutrition. Oh, by the way, guys, ketogenic diet, keto trackers, Keto Mojo, also measuring ketones through your breath. They were also present at the conference, but not so much talk about ketogenic diet because it's like a really niche trend. But at Biohacking Conference, people were talking about ketogenic diet and a lot of talk about fasting and intermittent fasting and autophagy and longevity, and then also about electromagnetic fields and how they can influence negatively our biology and how to prevent them from damaging our biology, right? So food, fasting, but also sounds, meditation, different practices to raise our energy, physical and mental, to manage our mental state. So it was really interesting. And I'm going to share with you some of the videos from the conference at some point throughout this week, so stay tuned for that, guys. But yeah, that's my experience at Biohacking Helsinki. I loved it. I learned a lot, met amazing people. It was quite a big conference. More than 1,000 people attended it. Speakers, like 43 plus speakers. So a lot of speakers would give just a short presentation, like 10-15 minutes, talking about the subject that they work on. Also, there was biohacking women, but when it comes to biohacking women, there was not really good speakers, actually, to be honest. It was the topic that they were talking about was, of course, mostly about a women's cycle and how it affects our nutrition and our ability to exercise and our glucose levels, but very little data there, because with women, it's always been hard to do research, and most of the research that is done is actually done on males, not females. So most of what was presented at the conference was more like, you gotta feel your way through your cycle and just, exercise when you feel like it and eat more carbohydrates when you feel like it. That is not actually a good model, but that's like the best one we have. Just feel your way through it. But in our food and unhealthy lifestyle environment that we all exist at the moment today, unfortunately, that's not actually the best way to do that. So that's why it's good that all these data gathering devices and companies are developing. So that's about it, guys. I wanted to share with you briefly what I experienced, what I learned at the conference, and some of the trends that you'll probably going to be seeing developing all around you in form of products, supplements, and different adjustments in our environment. Very exciting. We are moving in a very good direction. So I'm, again, very excited about all of these developments that I got to learn in Helsinki at Biohacking Conference. If you want any links to this conference, if you want to learn more about it, there's going to be a link in the show notes to go to the website of the event. The company that organized the event, they are going to organize different events in different parts of Europe and dedicated to either biohacking or hacking our consciousness and all sorts of hacking. So check out the link, learn more, and if you feel like it's something that you'd like to learn more about, then attend one of the events. It's an amazing way to learn more, but also to meet amazing people who are into the same kind of stuff that you're curious about. And that's also one of the best ways how to create supportive to a new habits environment. Surround yourself with people who think about the same things, who are curious about the same things, who want to move in the same direction where you want to move. So attending events is an amazing way to do that. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you staying with this podcast with me through my own personal journey, working on my mission, and also delivering you my learning so you could also feel better, look better, perform better on all levels. So thank you for staying with me throughout all of this. And guys, of course, embrace the messy middle. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.